Yeah, hello everyone. Uh, are you able to hear me?
No, yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir,
Audible.
you
Yes,
are audible.
Okay, thank.
yes, sir.
Okay, so this session would be around SQL and SQL Alchemy. I believe you have already gone through some content of Flask and how to create a app using Flask, and also a few HTML CSS part. Uh, if you in throughout this session, we'll be focusing more on the part where we'll be dealing with SQL. If you have any doubt, you can just put it in the chat. And also, if you feel that around the session, if you want to speak up, you can just raise your hand and then we can continue the talk. Okay. Before even starting, somebody has raised the hand. Yeah. Yes, Evan.
Sir, I have one doubt. This is not regarding to this SQL thing or this subject. It is regarding project. Can I ask in this session?
I guess project session is also going on in the corner. If you want to join, you can join that.
Just one simple clarification I needed on that. Uh,
Okay. Yeah. Say.
I've completed my project. Like regarding the commitment thing, the milestone commitment, I was not able to figure out. So I've taken one-to-one mentorship, and there the whoever the mentor was assigned to me, he told me that once you just commit the final project, also you don't have to complete all the milestones. Even if the you commit once the final project, it is more than enough. So can I go with whatever he said? Is it okay?
Yeah, that is also correct because we have not made this all the commits mandatory yet. So it
Okay.
is in one thought it is correct, but it is a lazy thought, I would say. If you want to just commit once, that is fine with us. But try to do it if you have time. You can just commit according to the milestone. At least core milestones should be there.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I'll just ask you few questions and then we can move on from here. How many of you are now really comfortable with HTML and CSS? Just raise your hand or you can just thumbs up. Yeah. Okay. Good. 10, 10, 10, 15 people maybe. Uh, those who are not yet familiar with HTML, I guess it will be hard to understand what is going on. And also, have you not done the? Yeah. Okay. Good. You can lower down your hands now. How much of you guys are familiar with Flask app? How to create a Flask app, small case Flask app? Just give me a raise of hand or give me a thumbs up, maybe. Okay, it looks like more than half of the audience is really understanding what is going on. Okay, when we create a HTML file, we use it somewhere, right? So if we are using it somewhere, that means we should have an app to show. That is done by Flask, to be honest. So if you use Flask, you will be using HTML file, and then uh, to make it, so it will be a static file. Whenever you are using HTML, it will be a static file. To make it dynamic, you might use something. So that, what is that something? That is Jinja. Okay, so Jinja 2, which you will be using, and that is the main thing which will be connecting your HTML file and Flask app to make it little dynamic. Okay, so this is what we have learned till now, week 4. But in week 4, you might have heard about or you have seen it in the dashboard itself. There's something called SQL. Okay, now is speaking no audio. Uh, are you guys not able to hear me?
No, sir, you are audible.
No,
Clear.
sir, you are audible.
Okay, please check your connection, whoever is not able to hear me. Uh, okay, so the point was that you might have seen SQL. Now, I'll ask you guys who has done or started doing DBMS course, Database Management System. Okay, okay, looks like a good number of people who are doing it. Nice. So that means you have a familiarity with a database language or SQL. to be precise, right? That SQL will be needed here. Yeah, that SQL will be needed here to talk in terms of coding while we want to. So you might have seen some data in the code itself. You might have seen the data structure in terms of, let's say, dictionary list in Python, right? Now that is not quite enough at one certain moment to play with dynamic content, right? So when we say that, uh, we need a uh, yeah, please mute yourself. Yeah, thank you. So when we talk about data, then we need a component which can store something for us. Okay, that something is data, right? So that's where the picture comes with SQL, right? So SQL is a uh, uh, query language which makes us do something that saves our data in a certain database. Okay, so database is a component where you are storing certain keywords or text compiled data, or there is some image content which we want to store, right? So there let's say it is a cupboard where we want to store something, right? Now, as we are in the week 4 of this mad one course, you might have already done few assignments or programming assignment, and there you might have already done the flask creation, flask app creation, or HTML file creation. We'll be using the same type of content, but we'll be going beyond that using the knowledge of SQL. Okay, so I'll be sharing one link here that can be used for today's session, and then we'll try to move forward from there. In the previous terms, we have already done these things, so I'll be sharing in the SQL intro um, MD doc, which you should be. Yeah, so I'll just pasting here in the chat. Please go there, and I'll be sharing my screen for now. Mm. Yeah, if you are able to see my screen, just tell me once.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, good. So I'm opening the same document which I've shared in the chat. This is for intro to SQL. This is a basic intro, why we are using SQL and all. So few things we'll be covering the theory part, and then we'll be moving on to the coding stuff. Uh, Also, so there is a one little change in this term for the sessions point of view. Previously, we were taking 3 sessions for SQL intro and relationship with the SQL. So this data relationship which we are writing here. So, but now in this term, I'll be taking only 2 sessions because already we have covered a dense amount of content in the previous sessions or previous terms. So you can go there and watch that. I will be sharing the links soon, and then you can move from there. Okay, let's start today's session by understanding what is SQL. The people who have already gone through the SQL component in DBMS, you might feel like it is very basic and why we are reading it all together. But yeah, this is important here to start off. I will take few minutes and then we can move on to the coding part. Okay. So first of all, it is a persistent storage. What is persistent storage? It refers to storing data in a way that persists beyond runtime of the program. Okay, what that means? So it will stay there even if the program is stopped. Okay, so let's imagine, let's say If you are using some JavaScript code in the browser, you are playing something or calculating something. It
Sir, can you
stays
zoom?
there. So can I zoom? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll try. Is it fine or more?
So you can press the F11 button. That will, maximize the
F.
screen area. F11.
Okay. I guess. Is it? It is just full screen.
Yes.
Is this fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now it's
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry about that. So yeah. So I was referring to persistent storage. So that means it will stay there even if the program has ended. That means you are having, so let's say if you're running a program, Flask app, you have done or added some data to your program, but when you are not using a database or something, it will not store it. It will be vanished from that particular app. Okay, so let's say there is a dictionary where you have three rows where you have created some key value pair. Now you have a function which is adding something to that particular dictionary. Even though if you see that it has been added to the particular dictionary in your front end, but the problem here is when you stop that particular program or app, it will be not there, right? It will be gone from that dictionary. So database is for that only purpose, that it will be there even though the program has stopped. So this is one example which you can think of. Okay, so need of persistent. Why? Ensure the data is not lost when a server is restarted or program ends. Okay, this is the reason. Okay, so one of the example would be you can think of spreadsheet and databases. So spreadsheet is also a kind of database. So you, if you have worked with spreadsheet, you can create a particular app also. So if I open the sheet uh, and go to blank sheet, uh, hope it is not too, yeah. So just for example I'm taking, so there was one option which can yeah, so this is one option, app script, right? So if I click on this particular sheet can be used as a database. Okay, hope you are getting it. So if I use this app script, this particular sheet can be used as database, but this is not a good idea. So that why I'm saying that, because it is a row column pair, but the point is it can only store around 1,000 uh, or maybe 10,000 something. There is a limit in spreadsheet. You cannot go there. And the second point is you cannot build a relationship between the column and rows there. This is the main thing which stops us in using spreadsheet. Okay, you, even though you can use lookups, but it is hard for you to manage those things. Even if I'm telling so many things about so many bad things about spreadsheet, you might, if you are working, you might be using spreadsheet or Excel. You will be loving that. Yeah, this is the thing which I wanted. But no, relational database, what we are talking, that is SQL, is more of a good friend of yours in terms of easing your life. Why so? Because you can create a row column pair in the table format, and also you can just fetch everything in terms of, let's say, 3-line code or 4-line code, or just select something and you'll be getting it. You don't have to think so many things, and you don't have to give links for every seat and other stuff. So one or three examples you can see. So MySQL is one of the example. PostgreSQL is one of the example which you are using in DBMS course, and SQLite is one of the example. So SQLite is a small database which can store little lesser amount of data rather than the Postgres and or MySQL. So in this course, we are not too much concerned about data, how much data we want to store. So that's why we are using SQLite or SQLite 3 to be precise. Okay, so that's the reason of using SQLite. Also, we are starting off here. That's why we are only teaching you the SQL part. Why? Because there are other kind of databases as well which you can use. That is NoSQL and all that can be used. But because we are starting off in the web development phase, that's why we are using SQL. Okay. So there are few concepts which you should be able to understand. So along the same line as primary key and foreign key. Okay, so primary key is a unique identifier of the particular record. So whenever I say record, it is telling about a row. Okay, so just like in the spreadsheet, so you can see this one is a row, right? So this can be called as a record in SQL table. Okay, and whenever I say field, it will be a column. So field would be this particular a thing which you are saying. Okay. uh, so this is what we wanted to know. So this is concept about primary key is there. You should be able to understand what is primary key. There should be unique identifier or a particular record which can tell. So what is that? So let's say I want to call something, so this one should be my primary key. I want to call something, one should be my primary key. I have to tell that this is my primary key. Whenever I'm creating a date table, I have to tell what is my primary key. Without primary key, it won't be creating a table. It will take a primary key by default if you are not giving it. Okay, so this is one thing to remember. The other thing is foreign keys. Okay, there is one more thing though. The other concept is foreign key. So with the word foreign, you can understand you can create a relationship with other table which can give you that particular key or the record or the row from other table which can be used in the second table or the third table, whatever you are using. Okay, so you can use some other row as a key for your other tables. Okay, hope you are able to make sense out of it. Okay. uh, let's continue with the same talk what we wanted to cover about relationship. So you will be facing three kind of relationship every now and then. There are multiple relationship naming convention, but these are the three common one which you'll be dealing with. There is the first one which says one to one. Okay, so there is a relationship between a unique relationship between two entities. So a particular student can have a particular unique ID, or in your case, let's say it is your roll number or student ID. So let's say Rohan has a 21F1 ID. So 21F1 completely going to whatever the number that goes. So unique ID should be there. So that is one to one relationship. Okay. The other one is we'll deep down. So we'll covering this in the coding terms, and so we'll be seeing the code how one to one relationship happens and all. But for now, we'll just go through the theory part. So other thing is one to many. So what is one to many? One entity that can be related to multiple instance of another entity. Okay, so let's take an example that says one particular hostel can have multiple students. That means one to many. Okay, one entity can relate to multiple instances of another entity. Hope it is a little bit here and there your understanding. It says a particular thing, whatever the entity is, let's say entity, let's call it as class in terms of Python. A particular class can have multiple instances in other class also. So there is a table called hostel, there is a table called student, there can be a relationship between one particular hostel and multiple students. So two table, hostel, student, and one particular hostel, let's say the ITM hostel, Mandakini has 7 or 8 students assigned. Okay, so this is one example which you can understand from here. The last one should be many to many. Okay, so now when you said one to many, it was one with many instances. Now both entity can relate to multiple instances of each other. Okay, so one student can take multiple courses, and one particular course has a bunch of students or multiple students, right? I hope it is making a little sense here. So you have a student here, you have a course table here. One student can select, let's say, MAD1 DBMS. The MAD1 course can have multiple student, student 1, student 2. Okay, so this is many to many relationship, or many to many entities combining together to create a single association table. Okay, so hope this is making sense till now. Any doubt you have? Okay, looks like a good understand. Okay. When we talk about SQL, just like other programming languages, you should be able to understand what is going on here. So you should be able to code according to the format which SQL or relational databases provides you. So this is basically to contact with your table, and then interact with the databases what we have created. There is common word called select, which is used in SQL. There are few other words which you might see. It is not there, but yeah. So select, from, and where. These three are the common words which you can see. But for joining or connecting tables, you will be using either inner join or outer join. Okay. Uh, be ready for these kind of word, because this is a raw SQL which you will be using or you are using. Okay, so inner join is a word. Hope it is not too much of a content for today, but yeah, you should be able to understand these are the things which are there in the SQL. If you're not done with DBMS, it might be a new thing for you. Okay, so there is a join which can be divided into inner join and outer join, to particularly to combine the rows from multiple tables. Okay, hope you're getting how what the multiple table here looks like. One part is inner join. It says return only the rows. Okay, return only the rows that have matching values in both tables. Okay, there are two tables, let's say student and hostel. So return only the rows that has matching value in both the tables. So you are calling for students dot name, you're calling for hostels dot name. That means two tables are there, student and hostels. So you have to select. So you are selecting these rows. Okay, name is a row uh, from students table that has a inner join with hostels. Okay, you're joining these tables and then asking for these names. Okay, students names and hostel names, and you are checking with a ID. So you have a column here that says field here, that is hostel ID, that is equivalent to hostels dot id. You're matching from IDs. Okay, hope it is not too much of thinking right now. So you are matching with IDs. One is in the students table, the other one is in the hostels table. Yeah, I'll come if you're if you want to speak, I'll come there. So you have a column which has a hostel ID for student, which is matching with the ID of a hostel table, and then you are calling for inner join. Okay, So it will return all those rows that has the matching value or the matching IDs of hostel, and then you will be getting two names. So not two names, two rows. So names of student and hostel name. So this query retrieves the name of student alongside their hostel names, where there is a match between hostel ID in the students table and ID in the hostel table. So this is an inner join. It is so inner join. It is used when you want to retrieve the data that exists in both the table being joined. Okay, so let's assume. Okay, so we are joining two tables, and that particular column which is common to both, we are collecting them together and then creating a new table which has now new table, the result table that has the student's name and hostel name. Okay, so there are one table, the other table, and then after combining those two, we are getting a separate table that has student name and hostel name. Okay, somebody want to speak? Okay. Oh, okay, nice. uh any doubt till here?
No, sir. You can
Okay,
continue.
good. So now inner join is there. There is a outer join as well. If in terms of if you are going for interviews and all, in related to SQL, you might be asked about the outer join most of the times. Okay, so outer join contains left join and right join. Basically, left outer join and right outer join. What it does? So outer join is return all rows when there is a match in either of the table being joined. Okay, if you get a match in either of the table, you get that particular row. Otherwise you'll get a null value there. Okay, you will get the row even if it is matched in either of the table, and then you'll get a null if it is not present in the other table. Hopefully, if it is not making sense, let's try to understand what is going on. Here, first of all, we what we did, returns only the rows that have matching value in both tables. Now we are saying returns all the rows when there is a match in either of the table being joined. Okay, it comes with two variations. First one is left join. It says returns all records from the left table. Let's say left table is student table. Okay, or hostel table. Uh, and match the record from the right table. Again, returns all the record from the left table, all the records from the left table, and matched record from the right table. Okay, looks good, right? So all the tables from the left table, all the record from the left table, and only the match record from the right table. You can think of any right and left table, whatever you want. Sorry. Yeah. uh, Unmatched row from right table will have null values. Hope it is there. So all record from left table will be there. Match record from the right table will be there. Now, whichever is not matched will have a null value in the right table from the right table. This is left join for you. The other part is right join, which says returns all record from right table and match the record from the left table. Again, unmatched row from the left table will have null values. Okay, so this particular example is for left join, which says uh, I need same thing. I need select student names and hostel name from student that left joins hostel on same thing, hostel ID and ID in student and hostel ID in particular the hostels table. So this query retrieves all the student name along with their hostel name. If a student doesn't have matching hostel, okay, if a student doesn't have a matching hostel, the hostel name will be filled with null. That means it says all students should be there. All the student names should be there. Who don't have hostel will be null. Is it correct to understand? Are you getting it? So, what is going on here? So, all student names who even don't have hostel will be there in the retrieved table or the result table, but they will get null if there is no hostel. This is left join for you.
Set.
Sir, how do we decide which table is left and which is right?
You have written left join from students left join hostels. This is left join. This is what you are saying, that left join this. This is normal English statement if you can see. So select student's name, hostel's name from students table that left join with the hostels table on these IDs. So left joining with this. So this is left joining. That will get the null value, hostels.
So here left table will be hostels, right?
Yes, yes. If you write right join, then this will be a right table. Okay. Now, so many things you have. This is the main thing which start off in SQL. You don't have to worry too much about it right now. But yeah, if you are learning DBMS, please go ahead, try to understand joins and all. We might not ask too much of joins in our course. Uh, we are just basically touching upon these concepts, which you should be able to understand. Okay. The other thing which I said, NoSQL is the thing which you can learn, but not right now, not currently. We are not ready for it. Uh, this is a other kind of database, which is which allows you to have a unstructured data. Right now, what we were doing is a table format data that is containing column rows. That is a structured format where we can retrieve particular information using the rows and column. But now unstructured database is also a thing which can be used as a key value pair and all, which can be which don't really need a structure in terms of table and all. That is one example which you can use, but not right now. MongoDB is one example which you can use. This is an unstructured database and not a relational database. That is called NoSQL. Whichever database is not a SQL database, and that is called as NoSQL, and that is unstructured. If it is unstructured, that means NoSQL or non-relational database. Okay, so till now, I guess it is good. We are still in the basic phase of this SQL. There are few things. If you are not really familiar with Flask till now, you can just go through this. Flask is a micro web framework. Right now, it has been used in wide format, in even in database, data science, as well as in the development phase to create small case apps. Flask uh, has a competition called Fast API. If you are not familiar with that, you can just Google through it and try to understand what is Fast API. So Flask is basically now in good shape. People are using it. So in terms of 4 years back, it was not too much used. Django in particular was used at that time, and other frameworks were there. Okay, in Python. Okay, now this is the format which you can use, and you can create your own Flask app. This is how you can integrate. So database integration is one thing which you wanted to understand here in this session. but you will see something different. Okay, we talked about SQL till now, but we are not seeing any queries in this particular code, right? There's one more thing written as ORM, okay, uh, which is being used in this code as well. The ORM here is object relational mapper or mapping. This is Flask SQL Alchemy. So in terms of coding, you will be using SQL, but in a simpler format. You don't have to learn all the codes of SQL queries. You can just interact with your database using SQL Alchemy ORM. That makes your life little easier in terms of creation of your database, in terms of insertion of your data, in terms of deletion of your data, in terms of updating of your data. So you'll be using lesser code or non SQL code or SQL queries code, and we'll be using Python. Okay, so the first point which you can see, it says simplifies interaction with database by using Python classes instead of SQL commands. So you're not using create command or you're not using insert command. You're just creating a Python class, and then we can use this particular Python class in our Flask app. So this is why we are using SQL Alchemy. For calling SQL Alchemy, you just have to code this from Flask SQL Alchemy, import SQL Alchemy, and you have to initiate it. Just like you initiate your Flask app, you will be initiating your Flask SQL Alchemy here. Okay. Particularly, SQL Alchemy uh, is a library or ORM that we are using from Flask SQL Alchemy, so that we are connected with Flask itself. We don't have to learn too much about it. So there is a difference between Flask SQL Alchemy and SQL Alchemy. One difference you can see here is db.model is written. That means we are initiating it here, but there is some other code as well for SQL Alchemy. If you go here, hope it is, yeah. So SQL Alchemy. If we search for SQL Alchemy, it has a little different declaring or coding style. Okay, so you create a base class first, and then that base class is used in the other classes, and then you particularly write this kind of code. Uh, ID colon mapped int, mapped column, primary key true. So too many things, right? So you don't want to do that. You can directly use this kind of coding style that says class user db.model, and then you will create normal simple kind of variable, just like you create in Python. ID equal to db.column, and then db integer, primary key equal to true. That's it. You don't have to worry too much about it for learning these things, colon and then mapped and mapped column. This is a little extra. That's why we are not using it. Okay, let's continue. There is, if you want to explore more NoSQL with Flask app, you can use PyMongo. This is also there if you want to explore that. Okay, so these are the things. So data persistence in Flask. If you go beyond this week 6, you will be learning about RESTful APIs. So this is one of the example which you will be dealing with. APIs for CRUD operation. CRUD will, means create, read, update, delete. Okay. Somebody will say, why not CRUD? If you like CRUD, yes, obviously, but I would say CRUD. Okay, these are the things which we wanted to cover in terms of theory. Let's move on. Yeah, want to say something? Yeah, somebody raised the hand or
Sir,
okay.
I have
Yes, yes,
Sir,
humans.
SQL Alchemy is just like another SQL application, right? Like Postgres SQL and all. Or is it
It
different?
yeah. So this is a ORM which you can use. That means particularly you can use uh, by just moving, not want to create using create. You just create classes, Python classes, and then you can use it. You don't have to write. So if you have seen, it is not there right now, but yeah. So if you see create code.
Because I don't know what ORM actually is.
You don't know ORM actually. So this is the ORM. You just you're just moving from the normal SQL code to SQL Alchemy so that you can define your coding style in Python more precisely. You don't have to code in SQL queries. So if you have done any queries in SQL, you have to create, right? You have to write a create query and then insert query, and then it creates you the table, and then you can use it in the Postgres or any other format as MySQL and all. Have you worked with Postgres yet?
Yeah, we work with
Okay,
Postgres
so
as well.
first instance would be whatever you have done in Postgres. There should be a university database you might be familiar with, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
LIS.
somebody has written that code for you. So somebody has written create, then the class name, then the table name, then the other things, right? So it is a long tar file, if you know, that has the code for you. You just run it, and then Postgres handles the other stuff. You're not writing or creating a particular database, right, in the DBMS course or any other course, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that part, so to write lesser code and easier to understand code, you go for a particular ORM. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So
Which
it
is built
makes your life little
particularly for
easier.
Python.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And for making our life easier, and if we want to only cover the Flask part, we are going for the Flask SQL. From that, we are using SQL. In precise term, we are using SQL Alchemy, but by passing through uh, Flask SQL Alchemy library. Okay, so this
Okay,
is
sir.
about this. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else want to say something? Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good
Sir,
evening.
sir, I want to know, sir, can we connect um, Excel worksheets directly with this Flask or
Uh,
SQL inside of
with
SQL or database?
Yeah, you can do anything. If you want to connect, you can connect. This is your MAD one course, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh, you're not enrolled in MAD 2.
No, sir.
Okay. So when you go to MAT 2, there is one component called scheduled job, triggered job, and there you will be doing the same stuff. You'll be using Jinja and throwing that to a particular CSV file, and then you will be sending that CSV file to a mail, or you can download it in the portal. So you will be doing it in MAT 2 project.
Okay, sir. And any specific library that we'll be using
There
to
are
build it
multiple
actually?
libraries which you can use. Particularly if you want to create CSV file, you can just create without even library. But yeah, you should be a skeleton, right? So just like you have a skeleton for HTML file, and then inside that Jinja is written, right?
Yes.
Similarly, you will be creating a skeleton CSV file, and in that CSV file, you will be storing the particular data what we want in a row column format, and that CSV file can be sent anywhere through mail, or it can be downloaded in the portal.
Okay, so there's no direct way to like import data directly into the worksheet, Excel worksheet?
Uh, there is a way, just like I said, you can use app script. If you are working with Sheet itself, you can create it. I'm not sure about Excel if it is providing that, but there should be a one thing which you can use.
Right.
I have used this, that's why I'm telling you. So I have created one app for BDM course, I guess. So they wanted this to be a database. Okay, so I have created a app for them using app script. So it was working. It is slow. It is very sorry. It is very slow, but yeah, it is. It can work as a database.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's move on. Let's see the coding also. Before that, if you want to go through the Flask thing, Jinja, there are docs which you can go through. If you want to just quickly mug up what is going on before the quiz, you can just go there. Okay. Uh, SQL Alchemy. Uh, yeah, looks like this. Give me a second, okay? I'm not. We have this VS Code here. The file is SQL. So this is the same thing which you are seeing here in the GitHub. Okay, I've cloned it and tried something. Hmm. Okay. So I'll just share the link as well here. Open the link, go there, and yeah. So in the previous term, we were following 3 sessions to complete this SQL thing. In the first session, I was talking about Flask, how to start up with Flask and Jinja. You have to install Flask. If you've not done that, please go ahead and pip install Flask. Uh, so one thing, so here you can see, right? So currently you cannot go to any other link, right? You can see session colon introduction to this, right? So you cannot go to a link when you go to GitHub, right? But when we go to this place, uh, yeah, is it okay? Are you able to see the code here? Anyone can just tell. Is
Yes,
it
sir.
clear? Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
So see this. If you are new to GitHub, it will be a magic for you. But yeah, so this is my resources app dev. This is in VS Code locally. Uh, this is my resources app dev. This is in the GitHub, which you are seeing. I want to update this SQL.md file. Okay. Uh, you can see resources app dev. Then you have main, and then app dev 1 week 5 app, and then SQL MD file. Same format. So if I click on this, so app dev 1 here, resources app dev 1 week 5 app. Now what I want is I have updated this particular file locally, which says modified m here, modified, you can see, right? I want to push it to my GitHub. Now if you are familiar with GitHub, you might know the command for it. I may tell you I am already connected with my GitHub using VS Code. So there should be a code for it to push it to the GitHub. What is that code? Anyone can tell? Maybe git and then
Push,
git push.
push,
That's it. Not other than
commit,
other
commit.
anything else.
Pull.
Pull. Okay.
Sir, first git status.
edit status. Okay, status. I would say okay. I'll go for it. Git status. It is saying yeah modified SQL .md. Then what
Uh,
should be done?
commit.
Git init. Okay. Any other
Yes, sir.
command? Any other
Or
command?
we can use git
Git
add.
commit message and write some message.
Command message. So here it says git add. Okay. I'll try that. So git add. What I want to add? I
Dot.
want to add. No, no, no. Dot will add all the things, right? I want to add a specific file, SQL, like this. So this is my file I want to add. So if I enter it, so let's see again the status of it. The status changes, right? So if you see the previous status, what it said, uh, what is the difference? Can you tell me? So you have two status showing here, and it is
So,
also advising you. Yeah,
so you have added and it is yet to be committed. So that is why it is green.
yeah,
It is at the staged area, I guess. It was
correct.
not
So
committed
this,
yet. Commit
yeah,
hyphen
correct,
m.
correct. Nice. So first it says change not staged for commit. It advises that you should be using git add and the file name to update whatever you have committed. And then when I do this commit, it says commit changes to the committed. So this is the thing. Now
Push.
push already push no. So
Commit.
yeah, git commit. I cannot directly say commit. I have to give a message. So minus m here. So minus m here hyphen m here is message. What is message? I have to give it in code. So I have updated the link. So updated the links. Okay. Quotes ended, and this is my code now. If I enter it, still the job is not done yet. 3 insertions, 3 deletions, and the file has changed, but job is not yet done. You won't be able to see this maybe here. So currently, when you refresh this particular page, there is no change here. It
Yes,
is
sir.
still 5 months ago, it says. So if I go back, I have to give one more command. What is that command? Git
Push.
push, because I want to make sure this should be in the main branch. I would write
Origin
origin,
main.
and this should push all the content what I have made. Okay, it it says okay. There is some error which I can see. Okay, let's try to git push again. This is kind of that child which has rejected my offer. Okay, nice. Uh, why rejected, man?
It's saying git
Sir, we
pull
can
before
also
pushing.
install this GitHub app and then we can clone it over there and then whatever changes are made, it will get synced over there.
No, not necessary. Sometimes because most of the time this conflict occurs if someone else is using the same Git repository. So in this case, as I have experienced, mostly I prefer to have force push sometimes. This has a
Okay,
conflict between the if someone is using same repository at two different places.
okay. So you are saying force push. What is the
Yes, sir.
command for it?
Get double hyphen force.
Okay,
Just a second, sir. I will paste it in the chat.
Set double hyphen and force.
but if this won't work, hyphen f. Okay, It doesn't understand. Anything else or main? Should I write main or not?
Yeah,
Set
just a
double
minute.
hyphen forces after
I'm
push.
pasting the command in the chat.
Okay. Should I go to? Okay, you can just read it out if you want.
Yeah, get push origin main
Hmm.
double hyphen force or double hyphen f, both will work.
It was origin main hyphen f.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
I got to
Because
know something
it
new.
creates a conflict when same repository is used in two different machines.
Okay, nice. I
And this
would
is what.
have what I would have done is I would have just relogging using gauth.
Yes, sir. We can do that also.
Okay, so no, nice. It is good. It is recorded. We all now know one new method to push. Okay, so what I wanted to do here is I just wanted to push this particular thing here so that you can get the video links. When you click on this particular link, you will go to a YouTube video, which is about Flask SQL Alchemy session. In the previous term, I have taken this session. You can just, yeah, there is some sarcasm there, but yeah, you can just go through these sessions, try to understand what is going on and all, and let's explore more about SQL Alchemy, and let's come back again to the particular session what we want. I won't be covering too much of Flask. I'll be going forward with the SQL code. This is the code which you can use. First of all, pip install Flask. Then after that, you can create this particular code or add a particular code. From the first line, it says from Flask, import Flask after installing Flask. Okay, because you are using small Flask, that's why you are calling it here as a small Flask as well. Whenever you want to initiate it, so capital F should be there, and then you can initiate this particular Flask app. Name is your container, which it should specify that we are calling this particular file only whenever we are running the app. So this app variable now will be used as a router. Whenever you want to create a route, you have to use app so that it can understand that you are calling for this particular Flask. So the naming convention would be at the rate app dot route, and then you have to follow single quotes and the slash something, whatever the URL you want to create. Okay, this is the way of creating, and then you have to create a simple Python function which can be named as hello or home or any other name which you want. You can give parameter inside it if you want. That can be taken in this URL as well, and then you can return anything what you want to return. Now this is the static app what you are seeing. Okay, now if we want to make it dynamic, we might use it. So no, so correctly if I say this is a dynamic app. Why I'm saying this is because even though you are returning a string in your browser, you will be able to see a HTML kind of formatting. So by default, it will have a head section. If you go to source and all, there should be a head section, there should be body section, there should be HTML template, and inside that there should be a string as a hello class. Okay, so that's why this is a dynamic app for now. Okay, hope it is clear today. If you talk about static, that can be done using a HTML file. So if you are using a templates folder, okay. So if you don't know, you can name your templates folder anything else by writing code here, comma template folder, and then you can name it as template, temp, or any other name. By default, it comes with a templates folder name, and similar with the static folder name. Hope it is not overwhelming for now. Anyone wants to speak? Okay. Okay, so Jinja is there. We will be using Jinja for templating, and this is kind of code which you will be seeing. So if condition is there, for loop is there, ending a for loop is there, else condition is there, and end of the if condition, here it is. You will be only ending with if and if, not else, and else. It will be ending only once. Uh, if you want to store some data that is coming from rendering template in this line, you have to show like this, two double curly braces in the starting and ending. So here name equal to user and items. So this is name and these are items, and then for loop should be running in item. Okay, why SQL Alchemy over SQLite? SQLite is a good. Um, so this is SQL Alchemy ORM, right? This SQL Alchemy ORM. SQLite is a good small application but lacks scalability and all. SQL Alchemy provides. So there is no particular uh, bigger difference, but SQLite gives you a little query kind of formatting, and SQL Alchemy or Flask SQL Alchemy give you an English kind of formatting. This is the main thing. That's why we are using. Okay, uh, let's continue with this thing. Okay, let's go to our coding editor. Hope you have downloaded or pip installed Flask by now. I'll be using the previous file. I'll just clear this as well. Okay, should I create one more file? Let's see. I'm calling it new, sorry, new app dot py. Okay, if you want to create a py file, you can just go to VS Code and create a new app.py file, and it will create a new file for me. So first thing first, I have to uh, give import. So from Flask, import Flask. Then it suggests, the AI suggests me, you should also try out SQL Alchemy. I'll just take the advice and do it here. Now there are so many suggestions which they are giving, but let's have some breathing moment and then we'll continue. One thing to notice here is I am using Flask SQL Alchemy, and inside that there is SQL Alchemy component that should be initiated somewhere. Okay, just like Flask, this should be initiated somewhere so that we can use it using a variable. Okay, both the things, the common link is this. Okay, that's why we are using Flask SQL Alchemy, so that we don't have to think too much about it. So before going forward, if you are uh, if you have not installed it, just do this pip install Flask, the Flask one, and the Flask SQL Alchemy. SQL Alchemy. Sorry about the spelling if I'm wrong. SQL. Okay. These two things I need to install. And if I enter it, it should be installed. If it is already installed, it says requirement already satisfied. One more thing to be precise here and to be learned from here is I'm not using any virtual environment. Okay, because I will be only be using Flask and Flask SQL Alchemy. That's why I'm not using a virtual environment. I would suggest please don't use virtual environment currently. If you feel that my machine is very uh, shaky and I might change my machine, so then you can create your virtual environment. The code you will get in the same resources app dev folder in the GitHub. Okay. Now I'm ready with my code, sorry, my SQL Alchemy. So if I want to start off, so app equal to Flask and then the name. Uh, it is suggesting me to configure this to particular database name, but I don't want to do it. Will it make any impact? Let's say I just say DB and this. Now, what do you think? If I do like this, will this still be working for me, or no? I have to first initiate my SQLite file. Just a guess. What do you think? This is correct way?
Yeah, I think so. It should work.
Okay. So I am configuring after I am creating both the things, app variable and the DB variable. I am creating a configuration. Why it is important? Because you should be telling where should I store my data, right? So
Yes, sir.
whenever you work with SQLite, you should be writing these things. So this is your URI. It is not a URL. This is a URI. So SQLite colon three slashes, and then you can name it anything. So I would, if I let's say not SQLite, I would say um, week 5 dot db. Okay, so this is what I wanted to name it, and these few starting parts should be the similar thing. In whenever you want to create a db, you can create multiple dbs but not in a single file. Okay, now because I have not, yeah,
Sir, I did not understand. Like, what is this URI doing?
this is create. So right, currently you can see there is no file for database, right? You can see any file with a database or db.db name
No,
or
sir.
.sql name, no, right? Just like Python file, just like HTML file, you need a file that should contain your data. This
Database.
particular, yeah, data. So this particular thing will store it. So I've written week5.db, but here there's an instance folder there. When I click on this, you can see first.db plus first.sqlite, first.sql3. So these are the databases. Okay, these this was there when we were doing the previous session or the past term session. If I click on this db, you will see this kind of uh, row column format. So id is there, column, first row is there, username, password, email. So this is the table which we will be creating and storing it in the first.db file. Similar to it, even though you give a extension name different from db, that is SQLite 3, you can still be able to view it. Both are correct. Okay, so these are the row which you can see, title, id, user id. And this is not a only table which you are seeing. There are multiple tables: user table, class participant table. There are multiple tables here. Okay, so
So, sir, SQLite and SQL Alchemy, sir, you said that both are different. That no, so we are using SQL Alchemy. Then why are we writing in the URI SQLite?
the database should be in SQL only, right? So you should be able to see the data. For storing the data, you will be using SQL Alchemy code or an English language code in common sense. The data will be stored in a database only, database file only. That is SQLite 3 for this course. If we were using Postgres, we would have stored in Postgres file or tar file or any other file which you are familiar with.
Okay, sir. So it is an extension kind of.
Correct, correct. The storing part is done in the database file itself, but the how will you code it to store it, right? So you are creating a database URI in this, But when you will be coding, let's say if you want to add something or if you want to delete something, you will be coding using SQL Alchemy code or English language Flask SQL Alchemy ORM, not using the query language. So query language would be select star from this is the normal format which you will be using, right? So you are not using that now. You can use directly. So let's say if your class name is user dot yeah, so it is suggesting me, but yeah, user dot add something, and you can just add it there. We'll come to that the part where we are coding it. Okay, so both are different thing, but you will be using English language to add, delete, or update. But the part where you are storing it, it should be SQLite or database. Hope
Yes.
it makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Sir,
Oh,
it will be automatically created as a first.db when we put this statement.
uh, it will not create first.db. It will create week5.db for now. When we run this app,
Mm.
whenever we run this app, it will create it for us.
And it will be empty and data we will put over there, or else data also it will be
it
extracted.
it will be empty for the first instance. If you are storing it somewhere or coding that I want to store it in the first instance, it can store it. So in your project you are asked that your admin should be there whenever you are creating your database. Okay, that means you are creating a function. Whenever your app runs, that particular admin detail should also be added after creation of this db file. So both can be there. So empty db file should be can be there. Also, if you want to add, that can also be possible. um, yeah, making sense. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so let's continue. I have decided I am using this app.config at line number 9 after db variable is created. So let's continue with the code again. So there will be some error while you are creating this particular code. It might throw you an error about you should be making it false or true for tracking the modification of SQL. For now, I'm just keeping it there. I'll just tab it and comment it for now. If there is any error, we can use it. Okay. So make sure the configuration part should be written in capital letters. Okay. SQL Alchemy database URI. You don't have to remember everything, but yeah, this is the common thing which you'll be using in most of the apps which you're creating. Okay. Yeah, these are the two main common things which you wanted to understand. Okay, I'll be creating a normal Python Flask function that would say app.route. I'm taking slash as my URL. So def, not, not this, def home, maybe home, and it says welcome. Okay, I'm not welcoming. Okay, this is one URL. The other would be, let's say, um, since we want to create our DB first, I'll just do this. I'll just run my app. Now you will be familiar with debug equal to true. Why we are using it? Because we want our app to run smoothly. If even if we may make any change in this, let's say in the return, it should make that change and show it in the browser. If we don't use debug equal to true, it will be not showing any changes in the browser, even if we have changed something. It will stay in the same format. Okay. So for running this particular app, now it is an app, right? So you have Flask variable, Flask app variable, you have db SQL Alchemy variable, you have a function here, and then you're calling it to run app.run, and then it is debug told. Do you think this will run, or anything else is left yet to be written? Any guesses? Uh, any guesses? Do you think this will run or no? Yes, no?
Sir, could you
Silence.
just repeat the question?
The question is, do you think this particular app will run or not? Or there is some part of code which is missing?
I think the run command, run method is not implemented, no?
Run method. This you're saying?
What run? It's there.
No, so this is for running the Flask app. So just like app.config, app.route, the app.run should be there so that it can run the particular Flask app. Run is a command already predefined in the Flask app.
It would then.
It would. Okay, let's try it out. So what should be the command? So command should be Python and the file name. What is file name? New and new app. So if I run it, no. So it says there is some error. What is that error? Let's try to debug. So it says db equal to SQL Alchemy app
So maybe we have
runtime error.
to configure
Yeah.
it before defining the app.
Okay. Nice. So control. So if I go here and then try to paste it, now do you think this will work, or still there is
Yes,
some?
sir, it will work.
Okay. So this is the main thing which you should remember: the flow of the code. First of all, there should be app. There should be a variable which is calling for a Flask app. Then, if you want to work with SQL Alchemy, okay, if you want to work with SQL Alchemy, this SQL Alchemy, you should be having a file or database file here. Otherwise, it won't be really understanding what is going on with you. So you have said a file should be named as week5.db. Then this instance would be created. Okay. Now you have this app dot route, and the run is already there. The app is running. Do you think this has created any file here?
Instance file.
Instance folder is there. So do you think any file is there named as week5.db?
No, sir.
So what do you think is the part which we are missing? Any guesses? Our app is running. This is the URL. Any guesses what we are missing?
We haven't created a database yet.
We haven't created a database yet. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Actually, we haven't made a table. First, we
Okay,
will define that
correct.
database. So then only the file will be created.
Okay, if I create, let's say you are saying if I create class, yeah, everything is there. Let's go with that. So if I create this particular class, now this should work. This should create a DB file.
No, sir. You
Yeah.
you have to write a db.create all.
Nice, good. Yeah, even though you have a suggestion for your file name, even though you have initiated a SQL Alchemy, even though you have created a class, you should be telling right that please create the file for me. Okay, ignore this if you are not familiar with this. So, uh, you're not saying that please create, right? So let's first of all, let's go to this URL and check if our welcome message is there or not. No, it is not there. Why? Because it is not running. Okay. So let's, yeah, the get call is there. Yeah. So this is working fine, but there is no file. Now, the major part, which line should I write so that in which line should I write so that DB should be created here or in this bottom part? Where the code somebody said is db dot create all, sorry, create all, but do you think this will be working? Just guess. Do you think this will work? I've
Yes,
written
sir.
db dot create all. Okay, let's go here and refresh this particular page so that db dot create all should understand. Yeah, there is something which you can see here. Okay, hope you have got the sense what is going on. First of all, I started off with Flask app. I was dealing with SQL Alchemy so that I can create my instance called DB. Uh, for that DB to work properly, I needed a DB file to be there that is used in line number 7. For that DB to be working properly, I should have a model first of all that says class user db.model. Okay, then I should have variables here. Same thing, db.column. Why I'm saying column, because this ID should look like a column. I just do this here, and when you see this particular table, it looks like a column, right? ID is a column, username is a column, email is a column. Okay, so that's why I'm writing db.column here, and I want to make sure this should not be a string. This ID should not be a string. That means I have to write something. So that something is db.integer. Even if you are not really comfortable with db and all, but you have to understand whenever you want to tell something to this particular class, that is model class, you should write db because it should be a connection between your model and your database. Okay, that's why I'm writing db again and again, db.integer. Again, I want to make sure this username should be string or text value, so I'm calling it db.string. And also I'm saying this should at least be, or you cannot go beyond 80 characters of this. Okay, character means a b c d. A is one character and b is second, so 80 characters. And then again in the third one, email is there. I am saying 120 characters should be there. Again, db.string. Now, the main part, what we discussed in the starting of the session, we said primary key. This key icon should tell you this is a primary key. There we don't have to use db. This should be simpler. Okay. You feel that so many things to remember, but yeah, you have to remember these things because it is little easier. You don't have to remember so many things, but this should be remembered. Uh, Primary key, you are saying my ID should be a primary key. Now, the other column says this particular username should be unique. That means your table won't be considering same username for other rows. Only one table can have a particular username. Let's say Rahul. You cannot continue with Rahul in the other table. Just like your GitHub username, you cannot go beyond that particular roll number or all. and it also says nullable equal to false. Nullable equal to false means it is saying don't, whenever you are storing some data, don't left out username. You have to pick your username, otherwise I won't consider it. You'll get an error while storing the data. Similarly, for the email, unique equal to true and nullable equal to false. These were the thing which the basic thing which you should be able to understand. Okay, now even though I have written db.create all, where I am storing the data. Okay, now I have to store it, right? So after creation of the table, uh, I should be able to add some data, right? So what should be the code for it? So
Sir,
db, yeah,
sir, I am also coding along with you.
yeah.
Sir, week5.db file is not opening in my VS Code. Have you installed
Oh,
something?
sorry about that. Go to extension here. Here you have to search for S. Sorry, SQ. What happened? SQL SQLite viewer. Yeah. So this you can go. Go there and install this. Okay. When you install it, and then if you refresh, if it's saying for refreshing, you can refresh it, and then this kind of icon would be there, and you can use it. SQLite viewer. There is one more thing, SQLite editor, which you can install. I have not installed it yet, but yeah, if you want to edit something here itself, you can install it. I'm not installing it right now, but you can install it if you want. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so now I have the table, but I don't have a particular code to store the data. First of all, uh, what I think is I have to store it, right? So there should be some code for DB, right? So DB dot yeah, it says session, right? So what session? Dot commit or dot add? Have you seen it somewhere? You might have learned just like this only. You have to add something, right? GitHub, if you remember what we did, if it gives us history, you see, right? So I have done this before. If you see these lines, it says git add, git commit, git push, something similar, right? So even though you are using a similar kind of code in SQL Alchemy, it is similar to your Git. So git add now becomes db.session.add. This session is not a session which Flask gives you. This is a SQL Alchemy session. And then db.session.commit. So these two commands should be there for adding something. You have to at least commit it. Now I am saying I want to add something, but how? What should I do here? So it gives you a part which says instance and all. Instance object, right? What is your object? Right now your object is your user. Okay, so if I write here user, and then uh, I have an ID here. If I give ID, it will take it ID equal to 1, and username equal to something, whatever it has written, and then for email it has written something else. Now let's do this. Hope it is visible. If it is not visible, just tell me. I've done one thing. So what I did is I have first created this particular table db.createAll. Then I'm saying db.session add to what? Add to what, right? I have a class called user. I'm adding something, and then what inside that user class, because it has ID, username and email. I am getting, I have to add similarly to it. ID equal to 1, username equal to test user, email equal to something. Do you think this will work? Now that we have written to add and commit, do you think this will work for us and it will add some data to the table? Any guesses? Just guess it.
It will keep doing it whenever you refresh. It will create the same table again and insert the same record.
Uh, Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm just asking. What do you think? It will create a new table?
Yes, I guess, and
Okay.
will give a user give a entry in that first
Hmm.
entry.
Okay. So let's run our app. Because this is inside our home function and we have to go to this particular URL. I will click on this URL. I've started my app. I will go to this particular link. Now I came here. My app is still running, and here in my database, do you think this is what I wanted? I'm not able to see anything, right? I have to refresh something. So if I refresh it, it has done something. It has created a row. Magic or what? This is working, right?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Now I want to play with this code. Do you think if I don't give ID, now I don't give ID and go back and refresh this page, what will happen?
Error.
Okay, let's try it out then. I will go to this following link and it says
Integrity error.
unique constraint failed user.email. But it is not about the ID, right? It is not saying anything about ID. It is
Yes, sir.
saying you have a same email. Okay, I change the email, let's say. I change it to VE maybe. Okay. Do you think see the code and then decide what do you think? Will it give me an error again?
I think
Email
so
has a
because primary key should be different. No?
okay. But any other column? So the username is a column, right? Similar kind of unique equal to true is written in the username as well, similarly to email. Do you think this will give us any error related to username?
It will say to use a different username.
Okay, so let's go back and see by refreshing this. Right? Yeah. So it is saying username should be different. Let's try to rename it here. Test maybe double T I'm writing. So now let's try. So one more thing to notice, because I have written debug equal to true, you are able to debug, or that means you don't have to rerun your app. If I remove this, you have to rerun your app to make the changes reflect in the browser. Okay, so this is
Yes, sir.
the name. So now what do you think? I have changed the name. I have changed the email as well. What do you think will be the result here if I refresh this page?
Error.
Error? Okay,
Yes.
let's see. No, no. It is not giving me any error right now. And what has happened to the database here? If I refresh this particular database, I am getting the data.
But ID is different. What we have given and what it
We have
came.
not even given any ID.
Oh, okay.
We have removed the ID in the first instance, right? That means whenever you are saying it is a primary key, it is taking this as a auto increment. There is uh, one more what do you call parameter, we would say auto increment. Even though you not write as auto increment equal to true, by default it is auto incrementing. Okay, so this is one thing you should know. Now, uh, somebody said that it is creating the table again and again. Uh, is it so? If it was the case, why I have this particular first row here? If it is creating, let's say, if it's getting every time I'm running this app, it should have removed this thing, right? And first instant only would be this uh, test with double T user, right? What do you think?
Once
Is
any
it
data is committed in the database, it is not deleted unless it is specifically removed to the delete command.
correct? Correct. So if I remove this database or delete this database, then only it will be starting with a new instance and then query forward from there. Okay. So these are the things which we wanted to understand. Now we have added something. We have a particular one class here. Uh, we have time right now, so we'll continue with this flow now. Here now I have added. I want to now see the result. Okay. I want to see it. How will I do that? So if I create a one more function that would be like this, it is suggesting me to create a user's URL. So I'll just create it
So can you
along with this.
reduce the this height of this terminal so that this coding
Yes,
part is more clear?
yeah,
Yes,
it
thank
is
you.
okay, right? It is fine.
Yeah, yeah, fine, sir. Thank you.
Okay. I'll just remove this line for now. Yeah. Now I have created this line. 30th line says app.route, and I'm giving slash users. Previously it was only slash. So now whenever I want to go to this URL, I have to add slash users in this uh, 5000 port and then slash users. When I enter it, I will go to the other function which I have created just now. Now the function says list username. Now I want to see the list of user inside my database. The simple command is user dot query. Okay, user dot query dot all. I want everything in the database or all the rows. So the command is user dot query dot all. Now I have to show it in the browser. So if I write return, not the spell, nice, return what? What should I return? I just return users. Now what do you think should be coming in the browser if I return users? This is my
List
database,
list of all users.
uh, list of all users. In which format do you think it will come? This is my
It
database.
will it will display like so first user is detailed, then second user is detailed in a list format.
Okay. So let's go. So this is my URL. I will go to this URL now. I'll make sure it is. Yeah. So this is looking like this. When I enter it, this gives me some error. Too big. Too big error. It says object of type user is not JSON serializable. What do you mean by that? Let's say I go back to my code and before printing, let's hello. Let's do this and then print users. Okay. Let's see the terminal, what it gives. You have user.query.all, you have print statement. So whenever you are printing something, it will come in this terminal. Okay, and whenever you are returning something, it will go to your particular browser or templates. Let's try to refresh this for now. it will give us hello, but the main thing is in the terminal. Is it printing something? No, not printing anything.
It's a terminal you're talking?
Yes, terminal.
No, no.
It should have printed something. If I print, let's say, hi. Let's go back to the browser and refresh this page. Why not? Oh, okay, it was there. Sorry, I guess we we forgot to clear it. Okay, so here you can see when I printed users and also hi, you can see a list of something, right?
Yes.
The format which it is returning is object. Now, where it is coming from? I have written something in the DB class. Here, this is the format. So represent it in this format, user and then the username. So user class and the username. Okay. But it is a list of object currently. I don't want this. I usually don't want this kind of formatting. I just remove it for now.
So what is self in that you are using here?
Nice question. Are you done with Python?
Yes,
Hopefully,
sir.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Python class, you use self to represent your particular initiation of your uh, variables inside a class. You can use that particular variable anywhere in the functions after that. Object oriented programming, if you are remembering that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is in the Python. Okay, so currently I don't. Yeah, so somebody want to say something?
Sir, I wanted to ask a question.
Yeah.
In the terminal, it is sir, showing the list of the usernames, but on the browser, it was showing some sort of error.
Yes, correct. So I told this one. So the code previously was like this. I told this that only show this kind of formatting, which is not understandable by my return statement here. So this is what I was returning. I was returning directly to the browser. That is stopping me from directly returning a list of object in this format, in this kind of format. It is not understanding what is going on there. But when I'm printing, it will give me because it is a terminal which we use to debug, right? So this can be there. List of object can be shown here, but not in a correct format inside a HTML file, because I said in the starting or in between that this code, whenever it is returning something from here, it is a dynamic content. It is not able to understand in the HTML file head body tag. That's why it's saying your format of giving a data is not correct, and we cannot
Okay.
show it in the browser.
Means
But
like a tabulation thing, we have not defined it.
yes, so you should have a correct format to show it in the HTML, but not in the
Okay.
terminal. You can show any format in the terminal. Terminal doesn't need any specific language to be shown here. But here you should have a valid format to show it in the HTML file.
Okay.
Yeah, formatting is a main problem here. Now, okay, so I've removed this code now. I just remove it again. So this code I don't want. Now it should provide me something else when I refresh this browser. So I have refreshed this. and I went on to this terminal. Now you can see a object, like the clear object which you are seeing. So now it has a primary key. So user 1 primary key, user 2 primary key, right? Inside that you have some certain format. So whenever we want to show it, so it is a list you can see right in the terminal. So if I, let's say, write like this, users, and then 0th value of this list, what do you think should be the result in the terminal? Any comments?
First user,
First user.
test user.
Okay, not all the things
Page.
from this, only, so all the things, ID, username, email,
Yes,
or
like
only.
whole row.
Okay, let's try to rerun it. Okay, so is it giving like that? No, right?
No.
You have to call it. You have to call it what you want. What you want, you want, as it is suggesting, username, comma, again email. You have to call it like this so that it can understand and then give it to you. If I run it again, it stopped. Uh, I'll just go back to the browser and refresh this again and see the terminal once more. Now I can see the particular formatting. Okay, so the question should here be, will I do this again and again for everything? Is it feasible? Is it okay to use like this every time? Answer should be no. Whoever is saying yes, this is the feasible way to do it. Yeah, please take care of yourself. Don't go anywhere. So this is not a feasible way, right? So you have to have a templating, or you have to have a format which can help you to generate every time whenever you want a data from this particular database. That's where Jinja comes. Uh, we have a lesser time today, but yeah, so I'll just quickly go through what we can do. So right now we are printing it. If, let's say, if I return it, uh, let's say I return it once like this. Do you think this will work for me, or this will give me error? Yes or no? Just guess, and then we can move on.
It should work. I hope
Okay,
so.
so let's try it out. If I refresh this page, I am getting the correct thing because it is returning a string, not an object. If it is an object, it will give me an error for now. Can I do like this? Do you think this will work? Two things in the same time?
Yeah.
This works.
Okay, let's see if it works or not. If I refresh this, uh, my app is running or not? Hmm.
It is printing in terminal.
Yeah, I was printing it. Yes, you're right. Just comment it for now, and then again go to that browser and then try to refresh it. Uh, do you think this is working?
No, it is not working.
Not working, right? So this is not a correct way to put in here. Anyone else is trying along with the code? You can try it out, and then let's try to move on. Okay. One thing you can return, yes, obviously. Two things, two strings, it won't be possible from here.
Will it work
Okay.
if we use join or like make it a list?
Join. How you will join?
It's not
Oh,
a list.
that called that it the LLM was suggesting this one, this code.
Oh, I was saying that, yeah, kind of that. Like it will convert the list to a string.
Yeah, this can work, but you have to remember everything whatever is written here. But the main thing what we want from here is I want to use a HTML file from now. So if I want to use HTML file, that will be easier format. And then inside that I can use Jinja as well. And then after that, I don't have much of a problem there. So if I go to app.py, I have used already something similar. So this thing we have not came across yet, but will be maybe in the next session. Uh, Here, this kind of code. So render template. Hope it is clear. It is saying render template. Use this HTML file, and I am giving you a data called user. Make sure you are using this left side in your Jinja formatting in the HTML file called as profile.html. This user, the right side user, is coming from line number 81. Okay, and this profile.html is using this user in the HTML file, left side user for HTML file, right side user is coming from this particular 80 first code. Okay, this is how it should be working. Because we are we using all somewhere? Hmm, I want to run a for loop here, but get users. Okay, happy.html. We have a file called as happy.html. Let's see what is going on here. Yeah, sorry if you are not happy, but are you happy now? So this is a for loop running for users, and I am just calling for username. Okay, so this should returning like a for loop as a list, and then user details is there. If user details is there, and then it is running. Let our main goal is username for now. I'm using happy.html. You can see the HTML file in the code itself in the GitHub. So I want to use happy.html. What I want to use? Render, uh, render, render template. Yeah, it is suggesting the same thing again. So render template users. No, not users. Happy. Happy.html. Users equal to users. Now let's see if there is a users or not. So this is the user I'm talking about here, left side wala user, and this right. So yeah, so right side user is this one, 31st line. Okay, but you can see a warning here. It says what are you talking about? What is render template? I don't know what is render template.
We have to
It
import it
wasn't
to
imported.
Flask.
Nice, you know. So render template, it is coming from Flask. Now I guess we should be able to use it. It is not giving us error. Let's quickly run the app and see what is going on here. I will go to the browser again quickly, and hope this works. Okay, because the other, I'll just keep it sideways. Because you are not having, sorry about so many things in the same tab. Because you don't have anything as a user detail. I have created a if condition here. You don't have any user detail, that's why it is ignoring it. If it is not there, just ignore it, that's it. And it is running for loop in the users list. Now we are able to see it. One more thing, well, let's see. I want to do this paragraph tag. not password, but email, right? So I want to see this as well. If I refresh this, I should be able to see this kind of formatting, right? Because I have using paragraph, that's why it is giving you extra spaces here. If I remove this paragraph, let's say, now hopefully this and this as well, and give a comma maybe, and then again refresh this, the format should be like this. Okay, are you happy now? And then the username and email. This is about it for today. I would ask you go through the content which I've covered. I'll be posting this new app.py. Go through this. If you have gone through this already, then it is fine. If you're going through this for the first time, go through this content, try to explore it, try to write it down. We'll be discussing more about relationship in the next class. Right now, we have only covered classes here. We have created classes. We are now able to add and commit, and this is a good ploy. Few things which we have not yet discovered with app context. We have not created any context here. We will be creating any context in the furthermore session which we have on Saturday, I guess. Okay, play with this code. Try to explore more. If you have doubt, you can just ask in the next session. Or if you are too eager, you can just post it on Discord and then I can answer it there. Any doubts till now? Don't ask me about programming assignment, please.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, any doubts? Yes, please.
Yes, sir. In my programming, error is happen.
Sorry?
DB is not defined. This error is happen in my
Not
program.
defined. Okay. Have you written all the code which is there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it is saying DB is not defined.
Yes, sir.
The code looks like this. 7th line, 5th line, 7th line, and
Yes, sir.
9th. Is this similar?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you able to see instance folder in your VS Code?
Instance. No, sir. I am in new window and take a new folder.
Okay. Are you writing this line number 23? db.create all.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to this URL? The URL should be this localhost 127.0.0.1 5000. Are you going to this place?
Yes, sir.
Are you going to this place, particular this URL in your browser?
Sir, this link is not show. Only error is happen. DB is not defined.
No, no. So you're not able to go to this URL itself. Can you just share a screen?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I'm stopping the screen sharing for now. Share a screen so that we can see what is going on with you.
Okay, sir. Wait.
Yeah, please. I'm waiting. Yes.
Sir, can you say these code files?
Sorry.
Share code files.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just push it. You can just go to GitHub and I'll just push it.
On GitHub.
Yes. Yes. You have the link, right? I've just shared the link in the chat.
That you have provided earlier.
Huh?
Sir,
Yes.
Okay.
could you please send the GitHub link again, sir?
Again. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Somebody is watching Atul sir session.
Yes.
Okay. I'll just copy. I pasted the link again. This is you can check. I'll just push it again so that you can get the file as well. I have modified. Okay, new file, new app only I have worked with. So I'll just I'll just again push app folder itself. Somebody was sharing the screen, right? Are you still there? Who was facing some error? Okay, if you're not there, that's fine. I'll just stop the recording as well. Thank you for joining this session. Try to explore more, and then if you have doubt, you can just ask on this course, and or you can just come to